Hello and welcome back to more Indiana Jones and the Fate of Atlantis. From last episode, we flew to Crete, and today we are going to be exploring Crete, heading over here along this path in the back to enter this village over here. Then we're going to ascend the stairs and cross this rope bridge that we're going to see right here. I said cross the rope bridge. I'll just click over here so we can cross the rope bridge. And then when we get to the other side of the rope bridge, we are going to discover a surveyor's transit. It's going to be over here just a little bit further to the left. And we are going to find it right over here. There it is. Let's pick it up. Now we have this for us to use. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to return back to where we started and actually descend down into the ruins. And this is when things get a little unfortunate, because what we have to do now involves a significant amount of trial and error. There's a bunch of piles of loose stones scattered all around the ruin area. And we gotta check all of them, because the spawn point in which the next two things we need to interact with appear is random every single time. So we're just gonna try all of them until eventually something works, but what you have to do is you just have to push your way through the piles of stone as you see them, and eventually you're going to find the statues you're looking for. So we will start with this pile of loose stones right over here. So we're gonna go ahead and push them. I said push them, like, stop moving, thank you, push them.
There's a statue here.
Well, we got lucky in the first try. So, when you find the bull's head statue, what you want to do is you want to use the surveyor's instrument on the bull's head statue, and then use the surveyor's instrument. And now we have control of the scope. So if we use these two buttons right here, we can move it to the left or to the right, or use these buttons to move it great amounts to the right and left. And when you've clicked into the bull's head statue, what you want to do is you want to align this center part right here with the left horn over, I said with the left horn, because there's going to be two things that look the same. There's going to be this one right here, and this one right here. So I'm going to align it with the left horn, like so, then click on it.
I see the left horn.
And then once Indy says that, you'll see that appear on screen. And that means you've done it correctly. Let's try this stone pile right here. Here we go. Now we can use the surveyor's instrument, which we picked up from here on this. I said use the surveyor's instrument, which we picked up on this new bull's tail statue. And then use the bull's tail statue. And once again, we want to align the scope with one of the horns. Whereas previously we aligned it with the left horn. This time we want to align it with the right horn. Let's go ahead and do that. I said do that.
I see the right horn. Hello, what's this?
Once the yellow X appears, you want to use the ship rib with the X marks the spot.
Hey, there's a stone disc down here. It's got a hole in the middle and little moons carved into the surface. It must be one of the moonstones Plato wrote about.
Well, what do you know? Now that we have two of the three stones, we are going to return to the area we first spawned into this. That I definitely did not say go into the entrance. Thank you very much, game. We're going to return to the area in which we initially arrived at Crete in. So let's go ahead and walk on back there.
It sure is gooey.
Then once you get here, you want to walk towards these ruins in the foreground, because you arrive over there by the balloon, and you want to head all the way over here. Then walk over to a pedestal that you're going to find on the right-hand side of the area, and use the sunstone with the stone pedestal, and then use the moonstone with the pedestal, and it has to be in that order. And then once you place both stones down, you can then use it as a whole. And now it's time for another one of the stone puzzles. So, first thing you want to do, on the outer rim, you want to align it the same way that it had been aligned in the last episode. So, if you recall correctly, in this playthrough, for me, it is the setting sun which needs to rest below the tall horns, but yours very likely will be different than mine, so just make sure you remember whatever you put in for the last combination. And as far as the moonstone is concerned, there are also 4 combinations, and those would be aligning the new moon with the rising sun down here, so we'll try that first as our first possible combination.
Well, that didn't do anything.
I figured it probably wouldn't, so now we can try to align the new moon with the setting sun all the way up here.
What do you know? A secret door.
You're trespassing on occupied territory. I've got orders not to let anyone pass.
Alright, well, before we beat the crap out of this guy, the first thing I'm going to want to do is save our game. And the other thing I want to mention is that there are two other possible solutions to that. The third possible solution is to align the full moon with the darkness, and the fourth is to align the full moon with the noon sun. One of those four combinations on the moonstone is going to work for you, so just keep trying all of them until it doesn't. But for now, we've got a brawl to get ourselves into.
Out of my way, sauerkraut.
You need a lesson in respect, mein Herr.
Remember, just alternate between beating on his head and beating on his legs, so that he can't predict your movements. Just keep punching between the two locations, and he will go down in no time flat. He's a bit tougher than the last enemy, but not by much. Then you want to make sure you pick up the sunstone and the moonstone. Gonna need them later. And that will be it for this episode. So, thanks for watching. Stay tuned next time to catch you all tomorrow for some more Indiana Jones and the Fate of Atlantis. Goodbye.